what is up people, welcome back to the channel for another keyboard review. And I am very excited to share with you today's keyboard review. REDRAGON was very generous and reached out and wanted me to try their newest keyboard in the market today, the Galatin Pro K719. My first mechanical keyboard was a REDRAGON. It was a hot swappable Komara TKL, and that keyboard is still alive today. Oh, and also for your next checkout at REDRAGON's official website, here I have a discount code that will save you 10%. As always, for full disclosure, REDRAGON has sent out this keyboard for me to try, but like all my other reviews, I'm always gonna give you guys my honest thoughts and opinion. Okay, so this keyboard has an exploded 98% ANSI layout with the screen and a knob on the top right corner of the board. By default, the screen displays the time and date, connectivity status, Windows or Mac mode, battery status, caps lock, and numpad lock. The knob also controls the volume by default. You can also reconfigure the settings of the board by pressing it once, then cycling through various settings including the RGB underglows, effects, color, brightness, and speed. And you can also toggle Windows or Mac mode here. And you also have this small GIF of a mouse running with cheese. Pretty cool. But you can upload various pictures and GIFs using REDRAGON's official software. We are going to talk more about it later. This keyboard is priced around $77 or 4,500 Philippine peso. As always, links in the description down below. Okay, so this keyboard is made entirely out of ABS plastic material, which I'm not gonna lie, it does make the board feel a little flimsy. It wobbles, you know, big time when flexed, but generally it feels like it's built tough and in one solid piece. The side profile, you can see here the two distinctive layers, white top and mint green. The front side is solid white that ends to this point to accommodate for the ports and the dongle holder. Okay, side ports. I kind of have a love and hate relationship with them. You have the port on the side, which makes your setup a little bit clean looking if you have those angled USB connectors. REDRAGON does provide one in the box, but I really love using these coiled cables and straight aviator cables, so I think it's a personal problem. But if you don't mind using the angled connector that this keyboard came with, then it's gonna be fine. The power switch is beside the port, which is great, easy to access, and all the way across the keyboard is the dongle holder. Kinda wish they put everything on one side. Anyways, the edges are curvy and it also has this embossed part that goes around the entire keyboard, around the keycaps, the screen, and the knob. This keyboard also has RGB underglow as mentioned before. It has 19 total effects and 7 different colors to choose from. You can tweak this with the keyboard by pressing the function key and the plus and equal sign to change the color, and function button and the underscore to change the effect. Personally, I find using the knob to control the color and effects to be quite easier. Flipping this keyboard over, you have the two levels of flip stand, some rubber feet for a much stable typing experience, and also the brand logo and serial numbers in the middle. This keyboard also has tri-mode connectivity, including 2.4 GHz wireless connectivity, Bluetooth, and wired mode. It also came with these OEM profile double shot PBT keycaps that are the same colorway as the base, with the white on mint green and mint green on white. This pre-built keyboard also includes these switches, which I think are really great for typing sessions, and it also works great for gaming. This is REDRAGON's Mint Mambo switch, and they are 5-pin linear switches. Not entirely sure what materials these switches are made up of, but they have an actuation force of 40 grams, which is very light and comfortable, bottoming out at 50 grams. It also has a pre-travel of 2mm and a total travel of 3.6mm. And those switches are mounted on these 3-pin to 5-pin hot swappable sockets that are north facing. Okay, so North-facing sockets. This might be a problem to some, including me, because I love chair profile keycaps, and north-facing sockets and chair profile keycaps doesn't go well together. But if you already like the keycaps mounted on this keyboard, or if you plan on changing the keycaps with other OEM or ASA keycaps, then you will have no problem at all. I am so thankful for the top frame and the base frame being held together with screws. This is the first time I have tried an ABS plastic keyboard with screws, and I'm very excited. Aftermarket modding will be very easy and accessible. Thanks REDRAGON. But then again, this is an ABS plastic material and there are no metal screw standoffs, and the screw sockets are directly on the plastic body, which may lose their thread over time, so just be very careful and make sure not to over tighten the screws, otherwise you may not bring this board back together again. Opening this board, don't forget to disconnect all the wires. Okay, so here we have the top frame, and the LCD screen is screwed to it and is connected via ribbon connectors to the PCB. Here we have a 1.3mm thickness plate with flex cuts in between rows. We also have here the stabilizers already mounted and the fancy silicone gaskets. Below that is the plate foam, which I think is a very thick EVA, an IXP switch pad, and a PET pad. We also have here the PCB, which also has flex cuts. It doesn't offer any alternative layouts, and also there are no screw holes for the screw and stabilizers. The base has this generic foam, and underneath that is a silicone pad that covers the entire base. We also have here the 4000 mAh battery, which is pretty small for a 98% keyboard with RGB underglow and LCD screen. On the side is the daughter board that connects to the PCB via a ribbon cable. Let's talk about the software, and to be honest, it is not the most intuitive software. I kinda had a hard time navigating through it, and it felt a little laggy and buggy. On the left side, you can see the overall settings for the RGB, button remapping, creating macros, and uploading GIFs and pictures on the LCD screen. I'm just gonna bring everything back together and give you guys the sound test. Okay, the board does sound pretty decent. The stabilizers are great, they don't have any rattling in them. The switches has a pretty good and defined thugs on the bottom. Overall, this keyboard sounds great. The typing experience is also good. The gasket mounting solution does its job pretty well. Typing is cushioned and the keyboard is really comfortable on really long typing sessions. The actuation points of the switches are also great for gaming. The light actuation force really helps if you game on long hours. The build quality might be subpar with other ABS plastic keyboards, which might be a deal breaker to some. Also, the ports on the side, not a big fan of that, but I think it's just me. I definitely recommend this keyboard for beginners trying to find a decent 98% keyboard with a knob and a screen. But for some hobbyists that already owns a lot of keyboards and thinking that this keyboard might be a great addition to their collection, I'd say I'm gonna have to pass on this one. If you enjoyed this review, hitting that like button will do the channel very good, and I will appreciate it so much because it will help the channel reach the right audience and have that proper algorithm. And subscribing is absolutely free. I am nearing that 1K sub goal, and yeah, thank you for being part of the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.